While we are highly trained professionals dealing in complex mathematical procedure, we do encourage you to try this at home as it will hopefully enhance your mathematical understanding. So greetings and salutations and welcome back to 1 Less Than 3 Math. The learning objective of this video is to be able to form quadratic equations and use the quadratic formula to solve problems. Now this is quite a tricky IGCSE extended or GCSE higher tier question. Tom Arto is a very fast runner, mainly because he always needs to catch up. One sunny day, he runs in a straight line for 16 kilometers at a speed of 8 plus x kilometers per hour. Realizing he is far from his house, he runs back. On his journey back, he gets lost and Tom ends up running 21 kilometers at a pace of 4x minus 2 kilometers per hour. The total journey time is 3 hours and 30 minutes. Part A, everyone likes a good part A. Show that 7x squared plus 10x minus 96 equals 0. And part B, solve to find x. So if you'd like to have a go at this question, please pause the video now before I proceed with the explanations and the solutions. Now, part A indicates that we've got to form a quadratic equation. The question doesn't specify exactly what strategy we're going to use, and sometimes you've just got to look at the variables that you have. So we go through the question and we say, right, okay, what do we see? We've got a distance, 16 kilometers, and we've got a speed of 8 plus x kilometers per hour. We've got another distance of 21 kilometers, and we've got another pace, another speed of 4x minus 2 kilometers per hour. We've also got a time. Now, one of my favorite things in maths is don't sniff turtles because it's a totally bad idea, and that helps us remember our distance, speed, and time triangle. So don't sniff turtles, distance, speed, time. Distance comes first, speed and time. And whichever one we want to work out, we can cover up. For example, if we were working out speed, we would do distance divided by time. If we were working out distance, we would do speed times time. Now what we can do here is we've got a total time, and we've got two distances, and we've got two speeds. So what we can do is we can form an equation. We can create a construct using time equals distance divided by speed. Now we're going to have time 1 and time 2 because there's two distances that Tom Arto ran, and they're going to add up to 3 hours 30 minutes. That's going to be our construct. So time 1 is going to be, the first distance is 16 kilometers, and the first speed is 8 plus x kilometers per hour. Now that's distance divided by speed, and that would let us calculate, if we knew what x was, that would allow us to calculate the first time, the time it took Tom Arto to run the first part of his journey. The second time is going to be 21 divided by 4x minus 2, distance divided by speed. Now, again, we don't know x, so we're just going to have to leave this as an equation. Now, that equals 3.5, because whenever you're dealing with hours and minutes, we need to make sure that the minutes are written in decimal form, and 30 minutes out of 60 minutes is a half an hour, and that's 0.5. So 3 hours 30 minutes in decimal form is 3.5 hours. So now, whenever we have denominators, we need to multiply out by the denominators. So we're going to multiply throughout by both 8 plus x and 4x minus 2 so that we lose the denominators. So the first term, 16 over 8 plus x, is going to become 16, 8 plus x, 4x minus 2 over 8 plus x. The second term, 21 over 4x minus 2, is going to become 21, 8 plus x, 4x minus 2 over 4x minus 2. And our final term is going to become 3.5, 8 plus x, 4x minus 2, as you can see on your screen. Now, that allows us to cancel. So 8 plus x will cancel on the first term, 4x minus 2 will cancel on the second term. And now it's a case of multiplying out our brackets. So 16 times 4x is 64x, 16 times minus 2 is minus 32. 21 times 8 is 168, and 21 times x is 21x. So that's our left-hand side of our equation now cleared up. Now, expanding the brackets using FOIL on the right-hand side, 8 times 4x gives us 32x, 8 times minus 2 gives us minus 16, x times by 4x gives us 4x squared, and x times by minus 2 gives us minus 2x. So, we now need to simplify the bracket and simplify the left-hand side. So 64x plus 21x gives us 85x. Minus 32 plus 168 gives us 136. And in the bracket on the right-hand side, 32x, take away 2x gives us 30x. So now I'm going to expand the bracket and multiply all of those terms by 3.5. So 3.5 times 30x is 105x. 3.5 times minus 16 is minus 56. And 3.5 times plus 4x squared is 14x squared. So that's our next line of working out, and I'm being as explicit as possible in my working out to make sure that I would get all the marks in this question. Now, I'm at a point now where I can start to make it look like the quadratic that we have in the question. Now, any quadratic should equal 0, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 85x and I'm going to subtract 136 from the left-hand side to make the left-hand side equal 0. And then I'm going to put it in the order of a quadratic with the x squared first, the x, and then the integer. So 14x squared remains untouched. 105x take away 85x gives me plus 20x, and minus 56 minus 136 gives me minus 192. Now these numbers are all multiples of 2, so I can divide throughout by 2, and that gives me 7x squared plus 10x minus 96 equals 0. So we have shown that 7x squared plus 10x minus 96 equals 0 through some rather difficult manipulation of algebra. So then, part B, we need to solve to find x. Now when we have a quadratic, we can go in one of two directions. The first one would be to factorize. The second one would be to use the quadratic formula. Now here, because it's clearly difficult numbers, we're going to use the quadratic formula, which is on your exam paper. So we've got if ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a is not equal to 0, then x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. Now, it looks like a tough formula, but you've just got to work through it step by step. So you take your value from the x squared, a equals 7. You take your value from the x, b equals 10. And c, be careful of the sign, c equals minus 96. And we just need to sub them in very carefully. So our first line of working out for the quadratic formula. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say, right, first of all, we've got minus b. b equals 10, so minus b is minus 10, plus or minus the square root of b squared. 10 squared is 100. Then I always do 4ac separately. So 4ac is 4 times a, 7, times c minus 96, and that equals minus 2,688. And the reason I do that is because it becomes a minus minus. Now the calculator will do this for you, but it's sometimes worth showing all of you working out in this situation to ensure you have every chance of getting all of the marks. Now 2a is 14 because 2 times 7 is 14, so that's what our equation is going to look like at this point. So a bit of simplification. It becomes the square root of 2,788 because the minus minus becomes a plus, as you've just seen, and that's going to be over 14 still. Now, at this point, we've got the plus or minus. And this is where we break it into two because quadratic equations do have two solutions. So we're going to do the positive version, minus 10 plus the root of 2,788 divided by 14, and the negative version, which would be minus 10 minus the root of 2,788 divided by 14. So we can put these into our calculator now. The first solution is 3.057 to 3 decimal places, and the second solution is going to be minus 4.486 to 3 decimal places. Now, this is where we go back to our question and we think, okay, what must x be? Now, x is part of the speed. We're not going to have a negative speed, so therefore we can select our answer as x equals 3.057. And that would be the solution to part B. So, I hope this tutorial has been helpful. If you haven't subscribed already, then please do. We'll be back with more as we run up to the preparation for the exams this summer. And thank you for watching the video. Hasta la pizza, arrivederci, so long, goodbye, ciao for now. We'll see you next time.